The following podcast is presented by Hormone Logics. Discover your ageless health.
And now, part 2 of the Ascension Mentality Podcast.
We are back with the second half of our Melissa Busta podcast, and she was talking about her coach. So we're going to let you kind of continue that conversation.
Yeah, you had been asking about, what we had to do to kind of dial it in a little bit more going on to my next show. And I was saying a lot more cardio, just getting that heart rate up higher. So it wasn't like hours and hours grueling. And then we dialed in the nutrition a little bit more, the sodium intake and the water and maybe cutting carbs. It was like a daily check-in of like, what are you looking like? How does your body react to these carbs versus lower fats?
Did you end up increasing the water or decreasing the water?
So there's a fine line to walk before you get on stage of like sodium loading a little bit more.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then right before you get on stage, like none at all and no water either. So it's a delicate.
You're thirsty.
Oh man.
You're very thirsty.
Yeah. It's a delicate balance.
Yeah.
But I remember one time I was even texting him, like he asked, how are you doing this morning? And I'm like, this is hard. And he said, you can't even complain. There are girls that are doing like 4 hours of cardio.
And they're like 700 calories.
Yeah, 900 calories. And you're up at like 18,
right.
1900.
Well, that's kind of what I was
You're good.
thinking you were going to say when you say, hey, we've got a month to cut. I'm like, all right, how bad was it?
Yeah,
I've
not
heard-
that bad for
No,
me.
not
Not
that
quite yet. Not quite yet. Yeah, but I've heard the more you diet, the harder it is. Your body's like, oh, I know what you're doing to
the
me.
fat.
Yeah. So this time my body just had like a revved up metabolism. It was my first time going through, so it wasn't so bad for it. But I was like blaming my diet because I'm vegan. I can do it.
Yeah, that's awesome. What are the plans for next time? When are you going to get back on and do the pro stages?
Yeah. It'll be next year for sure. We have a lot of building on the lower body to do.
Yeah.
And when I say for sure, we don't have
shows. Yeah.
Yeah, nothing's set yet. I'm kind of getting into that strongman competition or maybe a little bit of powerlifting.
Okay, cool. So you might just do that for a while.
Yeah, I haven't told my coach that yet.
I mean,
so.
you have a card. You can wait. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah,
Right?
that
doesn't go away.
that powerlifting though, it like builds your midsection. Those CrossFit
Yeah,
girls
your
are like
core.
built. Yeah, and the bikini coach is not gonna like that. So we might we'll have a talk about that when we step on stage. But yeah,
I mean, you could always convert to wellness, right? Get a little bit more lower.
those girls are impressive. Yeah.
I mean, they even look so much different, like in person, in front of you on the stage than the photos. Like in person, you're like, holy shit.
And how would that work? So if I'm a bikini pro, do I
Yeah.
start all over not being a pro in wellness division?
I believe so.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah, challenging.
Well, that's what I think I like about
Yeah,
all of that.
right.
And that's why I'm kind of like popping between sports. Like, this is so much fun. Just go see what your body can do, you know? And
push it
all
to
the
the limit.
communities are different and fun in different ways.
So tell me what encouraged you to do the powerlifting thing. You're like, I'm off season. I'll just get on. Like, why?
Yeah, like some people are like hitting mini golf, right? Or like fishing, and you're like out there powerlifting.
Yeah. Somebody told me, so you might look strong up on stage, but you're not really. And it's kind of true, right?
The shit
so
talkers.
Yeah. I've had
and
one
I'm
of
like,
those.
okay,
Mhm.
okay, let's see what we can do.
Right.
Yeah, no, and I've won first place in the only 2 shows that I've done so far. I qualified for nationals, so now I can go on to nationals. It's
Whoa.
June 2023.
So like how many people were competing?
So it depends on which one you're going to. So in nationals, there's going to be, it depends on who shows up that day. And just like in bodybuilding,
Right.
you have no idea.
I'm talking
Like,
about the
you
shows
can
you
have-
did. So you came in
Oh.
first in those 2 competitions.
Yeah, we have, there was 50 people total. I helped my coach set them all up. So the morning of, you're like unloading all these weights. And I'm like, wait, I have to compete today. Like, what are we doing?
No, you're like, why am I carrying them all?
Yeah. The majority is always men. So like strongman always brings all the men out. And I want to say there was probably like 85% men. The first one we had about 7 girls, and this one we had a little bit less. So I think there was like No, this one was 7 girls. The one before had to have been like 12 girls or something that are competing.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm kind of trying to be like, come on, girls, we're strong. Let's get you out
Do you
there.
ever like scope them out and you're like, I know I'm stronger than you, and you, I know I'm stronger than you too. Is that like
I
a
feel
mental
like
thing?
strongman's harder to tell.
No, yeah, you can't tell.
You can't tell.
Mm-mm. There will be like the tiniest little scrawny girl come in and kill it.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, where maybe like backstage of a bikini competition, you could be like, oh, she's not in quite conditioned form yet, you know?
Right, right,
But she might be able to pose incredible and then tear it up,
Stage
you know?
presence may be awesome.
I'm just always curious about that mentality, right? Of like, you're going into this show, you're kind of the new kid on the block. And, you know, I don't know if these other women have done this before, but you're kind of like, you know, you just got done helping your coach unload the stuff and now you're trying to compete. Like, what is going through your mind as you're like getting ready to do this huge lift?
Honestly,
Just the
what
shit
the
talker?
hell did I get myself into? Like every time, even about to step on stage as a bikini pro, I'm like, what am I doing? Like, why did I ever think I can do this? What am I doing up here? You know, I barely know how to walk in heels. Like, what am I getting myself into? Every time I'm like, what am I doing? And I'm looking at this car that I'm about to have to deadlift. Like, what are you doing with your life, Melissa? Like, what is happening right now? So, yeah, I just say, go for it. Just go for it. Get a good coach and just see what happens. And then in the end, I think it's really important to be proud no matter what you accomplish. You don't have to get your pro card. You don't have to win the first. You just
be happy that you did it.
Or you
committed.
even tried.
Yeah.
Like, it's incredible. So many people are just afraid to even sign up. But if you don't have like that deadline, then you're not going to give it, in my experience, I should say, you're not going to give it what you would have.
Right. I mean, I was just talking to somebody, I do mentality coaching, and I had a client, she's talking about off season. She's like, I don't know, I'm just like not feeling it. I'm like, then pick a show and put it on your calendar. Who cares if you like actually do that show? You're not like signing up for it right now. Pick a show, put it on your calendar. And she's like, oh yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. And even if she does show up that day, you know, like you said, you kind of size people up. Yeah, you can go in there and you're like looking at people like, oh, am I going to be able to beat her? Am I going to be able? But in the end of the day, you're just like, thanks for like showing up. I mean, like, thanks for coming out and having this, somebody to compete with, you know, somebody to be on stage and someone to just like, all the girls are so supportive.
Incredible.
They're just, it's not, I'm better than you or am I going to be able to beat you? It's just way to go. Way to put in the effort. Way to
do the thing. Yeah. It's such an incredible community. Mm-hmm. Are you finding that with powerlifting as well?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Everybody's just like, go do it, go lift it. And if you can't, they're like trying to help you out, my competitors that I'm going against are trying to give me pointers about how I can be lifting it better next time.
That's awesome.
But this isn't a pro stage or anything. Do you think the pros are nice? I don't know yet.
I don't know.
Something tells me probably not.
No, I've heard that the pros are actually very, very kind and supportive.
When there's money on the line, I don't know.
Money.
Big money. Well, Melissa, I wanted to find out, you know, a lot of athletes and even just people who are kind of casual lifters, they have a playlist, like gets them in the mood for the gym. You know, then they have the playlist at the gym. Sometimes it's the same. I remember one time, and I'll never let it happen again, I tried to work out without headphones. It was the worst workout ever. But like, what's on your playlist?
It depends on what I'm doing. So if it's a lower body day,
you have a lower body playlist?
Yeah, isn't that crazy? Doesn't everybody?
Split. I do, yeah, for sure.
See? I guess I'm not cool enough. So what's on the lower body playlist?
Oh, like all these booty songs, like anything Pitbull.
Anything Pitbull.
Yeah. When I'm doing cardio, it's like the classic rock. I got to get something, you know, Eye of the Tiger or something going.
Yeah, feeling the Rocky vibes.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yesterday we do something called a Hercules hold where you have to hold. I had 285 pounds per arm that's just like pulling you apart, and you have to sit there and hold it for as long as you can. I did 2 minutes and 6 seconds. I don't know how I freaking did it. I went to the dark place.
I can't even hold a plank for 2 minutes and 6 seconds.
Yeah.
It was brutal. But what I had playing was the Dirty Dancing Stay. Just a little bit longer.
Oh,
you guys know
nice.
that song?
Yeah. So you're allowed to
sometimes-
listen to music while you're doing the strongman?
Oh yeah, we have a DJ. We have to, you have to have
Nice.
somebody to pump you up. So,
Nice. Cool.
you know, oldies, classic rock, hip hop. I do it all.
That's super
Yeah.
cool.
What's on your playlist? Do you have a lower body playlist?
Oh,
Is it a bunch of booty songs?
For sure.
Is it booty songs too?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
See?
It's like girl power, TNA, you know.
Hey, Amy, we have a great sponsor on board, Hormone Logics.
Yeah, they're actually my hormone doctors, so I think they're pretty awesome. They do hormone replacement therapies to revive energy and strength so that you can continue to feel younger longer. They do bioidentical hormones, menopause therapy, andropause therapy.
They help men with things like ED, low T, sleep regulation.
They help you to have a more satisfying sex life, improved mood, improved cognition, healthier skin, bones, and hair.
How does somebody get in touch with Hormone Logics?
You can visit their website at www.hormonelogics.com. Stop missing out on living your best life and be the best version of yourself. Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What does that stand for?
Shut up.
I'd really like to know.
What do you listen to, country during?
I do not listen to country. That's what I listen to
I
on
don't
like
think
a Friday
anybody does
night.
in the gym. I don't know. Is
Yeah,
that?
that's like
I
a
do when I'm
Friday
driving
night.
my Jeep.
See,
It's a
oh, you're on a
Jeep
boat with a
playlist.
beer.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I don't drink beer, but
Oh,
I'm
that's
like
true.
making a fire, hanging out with the kids or looking into my wife's beautiful eyes, just feeling the country vibes. But it doesn't make me want to lift heavy stuff.
Oh
No,
Does not.
It does not.
One time I remember I was lifting and like my playlist was on shuffle of all of my music. And so I'm in the middle of a lift. I think I was doing like incline and it went from my workout songs to like classical music. And I'm like, racket, hang on. This is not going to work.
Oh, for sure. You have to stop if there's a bad song and like
In the
change
middle.
it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Not
Yeah,
going to work.
for sure. So I want to know. So Melissa had a pig. Can we talk about
Wow.
the
Do you want to
pig?
hear my pig story?
I love
Switching gears here
the
a
pig
little bit.
story. It's fun.
Okay, so
The
yes,
vegan with a pig.
Yeah.
I had a little baby piglet in my basement for about 3 months. Yes,
It fell off a
Did
truck,
you know
right?
that you had a piglet?
So
Oh.
there's a fun backstory. There was a truck.
Did we know we had a piglet?
Well, you
Yeah,
just
we
like
just had an infestation.
You're
of
like, well,
pigs.
we had it for 3 months. I thought it was like before we found it.
mouse in her basement.
No, purposely. We purposely did it. Yeah. So there was a truckload of little piglets getting sent to, I guess they go to like a fattening plant before they get slaughtered.
Gross.
Yeah. And it was the middle of like December or January. There's
There's a
freezing
bad storm.
cold. Mhm.
Yeah.
The truck fell over and they all started freezing to the side of the road. So there was a bunch of
Oh,
people
man.
just,
That's like inhumane for another level.
yeah, right? These tiny little piglets are so cute. So a bunch of them were rescued and they were able to reach out to all these sanctuaries and find some homes for them. And this little one, Serafina, went to the one right by my house and they were keeping her just, like they had this little bathroom all set up for her. She had like a good little life there for like a week until they're way too smart. So she figured out how to get out of the bathroom and like got into all the food all the time, the
Oh my
pantries.
gosh.
And yeah, so I was like, I have a whole unfinished basement. Can I just have a little piglet in my basement? Because they're so cute. I've always wanted to have a piglet, but we've never even had a puppy. So we had no clue what we were getting into.
And how did you
Yeah.
talk your husband into the
Yeah,
piglet?
so the same
Was he
thing.
deployed and came
'Cause
home?
Remember when he came home? Yeah, it was.
Oh my
kind of
gosh.
that.
I'm vegan and now there's a piglet.
Yeah, that's how it happened. I was like, so we have a piglet now. It started out, oh, no, we'll only have it for a couple of weeks. And then it was still too cold to let her out. So maybe one more month and maybe one more month. Yeah. And then he got attached to her. So you can't let a little piglet out in the cold. So we
Do you
did.
walk her?
Oh, yeah. We walked her and we had neighbors calling saying, do you have a pink puppy? Yeah. Just a pink puppy. Don't
But
worry
you
about
guys
it.
are unincorporated.
No,
right?
our HOA doesn't even allow
yee.
boats in our driveway. So
shoot.
can you imagine a farm animal? Oh, no, we kept
Ugh.
saying it was just a little piglet. That is like a puppy and she's not going to get bigger than, you know what I mean? Because
Oh
people
my
can have their little
gosh.
pot belly pigs and
Yeah.
yeah, they didn't know she was going to get to be 800 pounds one day. And she is today.
You still have the 800-pound
So
piglet?
she's at the sanctuary. Yeah.
I feel like
10
you
minutes
missed that
from
part
my
of the
house.
story.
We kind of zoomed ahead. Okay, so let me start from the beginning. We got this little piglet in the basement and my husband comes home and I'm like, we're just going to house her for a few weeks until it gets warmer out. So we didn't know what to do with her. We've not even had puppies, like I said. So we have 2 rescue cats. So we just put a little cat litter box and we're like, go pee there. And she did. She literally used
They're
it and
smart.
kept using it. Yeah, I didn't even know. My neighbors were like, I have a 6-month puppy that won't even go outside and potty right. So they are incredibly intelligent. It's been said they're like a 3rd grader. Their problem solving skills are that equivalent to a 3rd grader.
Wow.
I don't know how they test for that, but she very quickly figured out how to get out of the basement and up to us. So she would be on the couch with us. Yeah, in our bed with us. She figured out where all the candy and sugar was, and she likes all the sweets. So yeah.
How big was she when you got her? Is it like this?
Yep.
Like a
Bigger.
football?
My cats were bigger than her.
Oh,
Wow.
wow. Like how many pounds do you think?
Like a little baby.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't know, like a grapefruit, a watermelon, like.
You could say a small watermelon, sure.
And like how many pounds when you first got her?
Maybe like 5 or 6
Aw.
very
Now she's
tiny.
So
800.
tiny.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, she should have.
Is she winning shows too?
Strong man.
She would have been slaughtered at 6 months of age. And so now she's 2 years old. Mhm.
Wow.
So they're bred to kind of get bigger and bigger. And she's the sweet. She doesn't understand she's that big. So, and their memories are incredible. So when I was doing this whole process, I didn't see her for like a month and a half at a time. And so I would go back thinking she's going to forget me. And she knew me exactly. She has these certain little grunts that we used to play a certain way. You know, I taught her how to sit
adorable.
a certain way. Oh, she remembers me, and she only does them to me. So yeah, she totally remembers me, and then she thinks she's tiny and can sit on my lap still.
Oh,
That's not okay.
Oh.
But
it's a good thing you're a strong woman.
she'll flop over and get her little belly rubbed like a dog. I'm telling you. We would bring the little neighborhood kids over, and they couldn't get enough of her. And then we
Aw.
kind of had that talk of, do you know where bacon comes from? And yeah, some of them very gently letting them know, like, yeah, they're pigs, and she's sweet and just wants to have fun and love life. And yeah, we had a few little conversations like that. And then
Aw.
parents calling us up, what are you telling our kids?
Yeah. You're trying to make my kid vegan.
Are you
Come on.
are you dressing? How do you say the name again?
Serafina.
Serafina. Are you
yeah.
dressing Serafina up for Halloween?
Oh, of course.
What is she gonna be?
Oh, it's still a month out. I don't know what I'm going to be. What should she be?
Oh man, good ideas for an 800-pound pig for Halloween. I feel like it could be used as a really good prop for a lot of different things.
I don't know.
Clown, maybe, you can
Like
put
a
a little
taxi
red.
cab, a clown would be a good one.
Oh, you mean
things
like
that,
the whole body, something bigger. Okay.
Well, yeah, just like, there's like a cute little taxi cab. It's like a fat taxi cab.
Oh my gosh.
I like that, a bus.
I don't know about the taxi cab idea.
Okay, maybe a bus is a better
So
idea.
at what weight did you transfer her to the
Okay,
sanctuary?
so spring came.
Yeah.
And it wasn't really like the weight we were waiting on. We
Yeah.
just needed it to be warm enough for her.
Okay.
And they're taken away so young from their mothers when they're just used for meat. So she didn't understand that she couldn't, they root on their mothers. They like dig their nose in trying to milk. So she did that to everybody, to my shoulders. And it felt really good when you've been having a heavy lift and then you get a little massage, a little piglet massage on your shoulder there. No, but so she would go to every animal and try to like nurse from them. So even, the cows and nobody liked it. No, the goats weren't happy. So the other pigs, you can imagine, were not trying to have her.
Yeah,
So
like, no.
we had to wait till she got like a little bit bigger and could kind of stand her own. And then spring came, and that's when she went out to sanctuary. And she loves it. She's having the time of her life. She still remembers me, like I said, and does her little spin and sit. And yeah, we've taught her a few things, but it's cool. Anybody can go there. It's the Stardust Animal Sanctuary in Richmond, Illinois. So they have pigs and goats and horses. And, they used to have like carriage rides down in Chicago, or horses that they would race. And then when they're too old, they don't have any place to go. So the sanctuary will take them in.
So you had the pig in your house for how many months total?
Probably 3, I think. It was, yeah.
How big was the pig when it went back to the sanctuary?
Oh, like a dog. Like, we can say maybe like a small lab.
Mm.
Yeah, pretty good
Okay.
size.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then
And now the neighbors don't call anymore?
yeah.
Well, some of them go visit her at the sanctuary now.
Oh.
Yeah, she was like loved by all. I mean,
That's
this
amazing.
cute little pink thing.
What was the
walking
name of the
around.
sanctuary one more time?
Stardust Animal Sanctuary.
Mm.
Yeah, she would be, they have these little hooves, and she'd like click around on her hardwood floors like she's on her tiptoes with high heels. It's so cute. And
Yeah.
that little nose. Just want to boop.
Yeah.
Who doesn't want to?
I actually texted Melissa the other day when I had a day with one of our daughters, and I took her out of school. I was like, she just needs a mental health day, and I was like, what's the name of that sanctuary? But we're gonna make it someday.
Yeah,
She
it's
wasn't
pretty far
open.
north for
yeah.
you guys. Yeah. No, they do really good things there. Some of the volunteers are the people that just come through. They're starting to do yoga there as well.
That's
and
awesome.
The
so,
goat yoga? Or is it pig?
have you seen that?
Well, I've heard of it. I mean, I've never done it.
Well, you don't
but
want
yeah.
an 800-pound pig on top of you when you're doing yoga.
Yeah, probably not.
No, but the goat yoga, I've seen the tiny little goats jumping up on people's backs. They
So
have their little
cute.
sweaters on. Yeah.
I really don't get the purpose of it, but maybe
It's just because you like goats and you like yoga. That's it.
there's
Yeah.
no science behind any of it.
Not really. Just makes you happy because they're cute.
I'm already pretty smelly when I'm doing yoga. I'm sweaty. Like, I don't know if I need farm animals to contribute to that.
You don't have to participate. You can just be the photographer, and I'll take the children.
Let's do it.
Okay.
You're going to come home with a goat. So, honey,
We're not coming home with a goat.
We do live in unincorporated, so we could probably have a goat.
So
I
what
think
kind
the
of?
person who owns the house is going to say, no, that's not a good idea.
At least you're not coming home with tigers or all those crazy
Yeah.
exotic animals.
Yeah,
Oh
I
my
know.
gosh.
Seen out here.
Mhm.
You mentioned the word tiger, which brings me back to the pandemic, because I don't think I can think about the pandemic without the Tiger King.
Right.
Oh,
I'm not sure if you watched it or not.
Oh, I
but
had to. Yeah.
You had to.
I
Okay.
really did.
How did the pandemic change your workout? Because it changed ours. It was like the gyms were closed for like a hot minute,
You know,
and then
I didn't go.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I wasn't like into bodybuilding at that time, so I did nothing for that.
That
I
was
just worked as a
pre-bodybuilding.
nurse.
did you notice like your mentality and your energy,
Oh,
and just
yeah.
like your whole body was just like
My whole mentality
Sure.
went downhill. Yeah. I wish I could say like I've been this, bodybuilder that's just motivated all the time. And no, like everybody I think goes through these ups and downs. Like you can probably talk to Miss Olympia and she'd be like, yeah, no, for a year I didn't feel like,
I didn't do
So
it.
yeah,
Oh,
every
we appreciate
normal
you keeping it real.
Yeah, everyday people. Yeah, we all go through these slumps, and I did nothing during COVID. I sat on my butt. Yeah.
I remember like as soon as the gym shut, I was like, Amy, I'm ordering a bunch of home gym stuff. And she's like, that's insane.
You
And
did?
so I did.
Nice.
I spent like
did.
a lot of money. And then
Nice.
I watched like 2 months later, the same equipment was like 3 times as much money.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Good
about
timing.
maybe 3 or 4 months after that, the gym's opened back up. So I was like, well, I don't really want to work out in the garage anymore.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
was just collecting dust. And I was like,
Come
okay,
on.
get it out of the garage.
I was using the bench. All I was doing was bench for
Yeah.
like 6 months.
It's more
Right.
motivating to be in a gym
He
with
just
people,
got like
though.
giant shoulders after
My
COVID.
chest was so big I couldn't play basketball because my arms like couldn't. It was like obnoxious.
Skipped leg day.
Cool, because like there wasn't anybody to help me spot, and then I didn't have a squat rack. I just bought a bench and some free weights, so I could do incline, flat,
Mhm.
decline, a bunch of shoulder stuff. But
So
yeah.
people say they complain about gaining like the COVID-10. You gained the COVID-10
I did gain
in your
the COVID-10.
shoulders
In your shoulders.
only.
my shirts weren't fitting. It was ridiculous.
Yeah. I luckily did not during COVID. It was just like nursing shortages and all sorts
Oh
of
my
crap. So I
gosh,
just
you were
worked my
probably
butt off. I didn't
working
gain any
crazy.
weight in that case. But yeah, I did not go to the gym. Just lazy. Should have
Yeah.
got my shoulders worked out like you.
Yeah. So
Come
Melissa
over.
was able to do all this and work full time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, as a nurse. And you're still cardiac, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's pretty
No
amazing.
excuses.
No excuses.
If you want it, you can do it.
Yeah. So, what would you say? Like, what advice could you give about mentality to our audience? Like, what kind of helped you just like plug in and get from point A to point B? I mean, I know that you said like, well, I wasn't even trying really to like get, I didn't even really know what a pro card was.
Mhm.
But like, then once you decided, or your coach and you decided like,
Mhm.
yes, we're going to go for this. Like, what's some like mentality tips that you could give to people?
I would say get people on your team.
Yeah.
If it's just you in your head, you're not going to want to wake up in the morning. So you're going to wake up in the morning and be like, what am I doing? Like when I was about to step on stage, I'm like, why? How? What am I doing here? I had people behind me every time. So I couldn't have done it alone. And then when you're in there with all the other little voices in your head telling you can't, it makes it even harder. So I think having people on your side, friends, coaches,
Yeah.
just somebody to say you can do it and keep going. And then to have a plan all set out for you. I'm very type A personality. So if it's set, I will do it, and I will do it to
Yeah.
T. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's kind of, again, like with mentality coaching where people get stuck, it's just that they're like, they talk themselves out of it, or like there's just so much negative self-talk. And I'm always like, you know what? Stop the negative self-talk.
Mm-hmm. I think I just stopped the talk altogether. So that was what was helpful for me, just having you guys to tell me what I needed,
Right.
Like don't even get up and think. Don't even
I'm
just
not in
do.
charge.
Yeah, I'm trusting you guys and you're just going to get me there. And that's what helped. If I would have sat down and had a conversation, if I would have had the time to like sit and think it all through, I would have talked myself out of it
Right.
instantly,
Just
or
do
talked, just a little cookie once, or what,
Yeah,
what
no.
is that going to hurt? No, I just,
Mm-mm. Stick to the plan.
mhm.
Just do it.
You know how it is.
Yeah, for sure. Well, thank you for coming on our podcast today. We were so excited to have Melissa Busta.
Thank you so much for having me.
Have you ever been stuck in life? Have I got a book for you? Ascension Mentality. Written by Amy Wilhelmy, public speaker, athlete, and licensed therapist. In her book, Amy takes us through a raw and vulnerable journey as she unravels from childhood trauma and navigates her career, marriage, and parenthood. She takes us on a deep dive into her life and how when emotions are left unprocessed, they seep into adulthood as she tries to navigate the task of growing up. You cannot change what you did. You cannot change what has happened to you. But you can change how you feel about it. You can let go of what is holding you back. When you process and unwind trauma, you don't lose what made you strong. You only lose what no longer serves you. To ultimately be a better human, friend, parent, partner, coworker, daughter or son, and leader. It's time to let go. Ascension Mentality.
Okay, so we had a question, like what actually motivates you to do these things? Like what is your fire? What's your drive?
Ooh, I think fire is a good word for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I've been like this since I was little. Someone telling me I can't, and I'm like, watch this.
Yeah.
So yeah, I have like the whole background of being vegan, and I just want to get that word out, and how can I the quickest way in my way get it out? And I think it's why not step on stage? Let's get the eyes of like a lot of people on me, and I can show you. And so I think even going into the strongman, it was like, oh, so you don't think I'm strong? Watch this. And then to go out there and like lift these crazy weights and stuff and be like, you can do it without eating animals.
This is true.
I think was like the fire behind it. And then I still have haters coming at me like, oh no, you must be this or you must be that or supplementing or something like that. And I'm like, no.
They're like steroids. You're
yeah.
Like, no.
So I purposely decided to step on this NPC stage, where it's not regulated or it's not tested.
Not tested.
Because there's other federations. You can go on to like natural shows and things like that. But I wanted to show you can do it naturally. You could do it as a vegan and at least give these girls a run for their money.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And I did.
I
gave them run for their money.
You won. Yeah. This is Amy Wilhelmy. I'm the owner of Balance Wellness Collective. It's a holistic and integrative mental health practice located in St. Charles, Illinois, and telehealth. All of Illinois. We see individuals, adults, families, children, and adolescents. We are primarily family focused and also do divorce mediation. It is a mind, body, and spirit approach to care. You can find us at www.balancewellnesscollective.com. Thank you so much for being here today. We really appreciate you coming in. And it was really fun to have a guest in person, right? Yeah.
Thanks, Melissa.
Am I your first guest in person?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No pressure.
Well, it's an honor. No,
Yeah.
you guys have such a really great setup here. I'm impressed by all this. It's so professional.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much for having me. This was incredible. And I've learned so much now. I'm going to go check out the hormone guys.
Yeah.
Or ladies, I should say.
Hormone ladies.
Yeah.
I've got some homework to do too. I got to make different playlists for upper and lower body.
TNA.
Booty song.
I mean, I do enjoy a good booty song. I just never really put two and two together.
Yep.
I don't really think about the booty when I'm like doing squats. I'm just like, I know I need to do squats.
Well, you have a good butt, so you don't have to think about it very much.
Thanks. I think it's all the soccer and all the running.
Yeah.
All the running. But one of my favorite things we talked about outside of the playlist, which was also, enjoyable, was finding out just about like your journey that was very quick to kind of go from like 6 months in, rocking out these shows, and now you're on to doing strongman competitions. I find you really fascinating. I'm not really sure what you think you're going to be doing next because I don't think you know yet.
No.
But there's a lot of different opportunities for you to do, lots of different types of shows like that.
Tell me I can't do something, and that's probably what I'm going to do.
I feel
go.
like she has a very similar brain to us because we're both entrepreneurs, right? So we're like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, and like never stops.
Yeah, my husband's like, you're all over the place.
Does it drive him crazy?
Yeah, I went and lived in South Africa for a month and a half. I've gone to, so like, what are you doing this week, Melissa? Yeah. It's just trying to hold on for the rest.
You know
What's the crazy idea
what?
of the
Like life's short, you got to do all the things. So
I think so, yeah. And then just believe in yourself.
Sure.
Maybe
just
you think
that
it's crazy, but just try. Yeah,
I know. I think the mindset is like, I just can instead of I can't.
I love it.
And it's that simple, right?
Yeah. This has been an Ascension Mentality podcast. Hit subscribe for all the latest episodes, and for more information, visit ascensionmentality.com. Ascension Mentality, making mental gains.